Okay, I'm gonna start out. What is your name?
Steve Owinga.
All right. The first question: When did you first make the decision that you wanted to go into ortho school?
I knew when I went into college that I wanted to go into either medical school or dental school.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't sure which one for several years, but as I was getting close to getting my degree, I ended up actually going and spending some time in your grandpa's office.
Oh, okay.
And so once I started spending time in his orthodontic office, and that's where my mom worked there.
Yeah.
So I just thought, you know what, I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I decided to try to get into dental school instead of medical school.
Okay. Number 2: How many years did you spend in college?
13.
Ooh.
Yeah. It didn't have to be quite that long, but because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do at first, it took me a little bit longer to get my first degree. So if somebody went from start to finish straight through knowing exactly what they wanted to do, they could do it in 11.
Mm-hmm. Number 3: What was the hardest thing to learn about orthodontics?
You know, they don't really teach you the business side of orthodontics.
Mm.
That's kind of the hard part. The dentistry part is actually the easiest part. I think the hardest thing to learn when you first start as an orthodontist is how to manage people's expectations. Sometimes, every time somebody comes in, I have to figure out where are we in terms of their treatment plan.
Mm-hmm.
Where did we come from?
Mm-hmm.
Where are we going? Are we on time?
Yeah.
Are we ahead of time? Are we behind? How's everybody feeling about it?
Yeah.
And all that has to go through my mind while I'm finding out how their basketball game was the night before.
Yeah.
So the hard part is just kind of trying to manage that part of things. Like I said, the straightening teeth part is actually it's fun, and I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's your experience makes it easier and easier.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Number 4: What college courses did you focus on in undergrad or as an undergrad?
Lots of science, lots of math, lots of chemistry, lots of physics.
Mm-hmm.
And I started out actually in engineering. Not that I wanted to be an engineer,
Mm-hmm.
but I wanted a different path to either medical or dental school.
Okay.
And even though I didn't ultimately get my engineering degree, it served me well because that set me apart from a lot of other applicants. When I applied to dental school, there was about 1 out of every 13 got in. And so, straight A students are a dime a dozen when you're trying to get into dental school, so you gotta have something that sets you apart. And there was a lot of questions in my interview about my experience in engineering school.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, there was a lot of science, a lot of math, but like I said, a lot of engineering too.
All right. Number 5: How did you choose what college you would go to?
I did my undergraduate training at the University of Michigan, and my senior year of high school, our guidance counselor let me and 2 other guys take a week off of school and travel to a whole bunch of different colleges downstate.
Ooh.
And I'd always, everybody knows about Wolverine athletics,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was always a big Michigan fan. So, but when I got to Ann Arbor, I just loved it.
Yeah.
And so once I applied and got in there, all the other ones were kind of second.
Yeah.
They just weren't even really a choice once I got into Michigan. So
Mm-hmm.
and then so that was that. Dental school, I stayed right at Michigan, did my dental school training there, and then when it came to orthodontics, it's a little bit different because in dental school you have to. After your 3rd year, you have to, if you want to try to specialize
Mm-hmm.
and go on for more training, you have to, after you take a certain test, send in a whole bunch of applications, and you may or may not even get an interview. If they grant you an interview, then you go to all the schools that you got interviews at, and I got 4 of them, and after you go and visit them all, then you have to, it's called a ranking system.
Mm-hmm.
I had to rank where I wanted to go, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then each school that I went to ranked me compared to all the other applicants that they interviewed. And so I ended up I was very fortunate. I got my first choice, which was Maryland. It was hard to leave Michigan, but
Yeah.
I really I hit it off really well with the program director at Maryland, and so it was a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
But I missed Michigan.
Yeah. All right, number 6. What was it like putting braces on someone for the first time? Like, were you nervous or?
Oh yeah, very nervous. Yeah, it's you know, you've already been through 4 years of dental school though, so you're used to working with patients. But still, anytime you're adding something new, it's just nerve wracking.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little. It's like, man, am I doing this? But here's the nice thing. You've got instructors, you know, watching you every step of the way,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, before you put things on, you're actually one of your responsibilities is to take over for the graduating seniors, take over their patients that they didn't finish.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm actually working on people that had braces on, but when it came to actually putting them on for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, very nervous. Yeah, but it went good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Number 7. How much effort do you need to put into orthodontics?
What do you mean?
Like how hard is it? Like, how much time of the day and how much time out of the week?
Oh, I see. You know what? I could be a lot busier than I am,
Mm-hmm.
but I choose not to be because I didn't go into dentistry or orthodontics to not have a life.
Yeah.
If I chose to work as much as I could, you know, I mean, I could be working Fridays and Saturdays and everything in between, but you know, I've got 2 young kids, as you know,
Yeah.
and I value, as much as I love my job,
Mm-hmm.
I also love that my job gives me the opportunity to do other things. So,
Mm-hmm.
but that being said, when I'm there, it can be very exhausting because I'm very focused.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if I'm at my office, I'm going to be busy and I want to be busy.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm very fortunate because I've got really good staff that helps make my job a lot easier.
Yeah.
But still, there's a number of stresses involved in dentistry and orthodontics that a lot of people don't realize. And
Mm-hmm.
but like I said, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying sometimes you get home at the end of the day and you're pretty tired because you know, even though you may only see patients from, you know, I see patients from 8 to 11, 15 or so, and then from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So basically 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, but at the end of that time, pretty tired.
Yeah.
So a lot of effort.
Yeah. Number 8. If you look back at college, are you glad you went into orthodontics?
Very much so. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I always tell people, if you can find a job, no matter what it is, where when you show up to work every day and it doesn't necessarily feel like a job, I mean, yeah, it's a job, but I mean, where you enjoy going, you enjoy what you do, you enjoy the people you work with, you enjoy where you work, you hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel very blessed to have had the opportunities I have. I feel very blessed that I got to know that our families knew each other long before you were ever born.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, I mean, your mom and I grew up together, and your aunt and I, and so our families knew each other, and just that connection, I am sure, played a part in, you know, your grandpa, Dr. Smith, even recognizing that I might be somebody that could even potentially come in and take over someday. So. I don't remember what the original question was, but I love my job, so no regrets.
Mm-hmm. Number 9. What is your favorite thing about having the job that you have?
Favorite thing, kind of some of what I just said. Like I said, you know, there are days, like I said, there are days where you know you're exhausted, but for the most part, it's just fun. You know, it's fun to be a part of the transition from somebody that might come to me and, you know, it's, you know, I'm straightening teeth, but a lot of times you can see a personality change in people.
Mm-hmm.
There's some people that will come to me and when I first meet them and I crack a joke, the first thing they do is they cover their mouth because they're either consciously or subconsciously embarrassed or affected by the way that they look or you know, their appearance of their teeth. So, you know, to see the transition from somebody who is so shy and so self-conscious that they want to cover their mouth to somebody that's proud of their smile and the confidence that comes with that, That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I feel like I'm helping, you know, I feel like I'm helping change lives every day,
Mhm.
and that's a fun thing to be a part of. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's straight teeth is great, but there's a lot that comes with that a lot of people don't realize, and they've done studies on that too. You know,
Mhm.
there's a lot of studies that have shown that, you know, whether we like it or not, we live in a society where people make judgments based on
Yeah.
appearance,
Mhm.
right? Whether or not that's right or wrong, I mean,
Yeah.
it is. And so, you know, people that might not have gotten a job interview,
Mhm.
or maybe in a job interview wouldn't have performed as well, but now suddenly they're, you know, they're not distracted by that,
Mhm.
by their, you know, them being self-conscious about the way that they look or the way their teeth look. I think it's awesome to be
Yeah.
able to see those transitions. So that's probably the most rewarding thing.
All right. And number 10, what is your least favorite thing about having the job you have?
Least favorite thing, you know, the easiest thing I do is straighten teeth. Sometimes people's expectations are just not achievable.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the sooner you recognize that, the easier it is to deal with.
Mhm.
Communication is key, of course, but you know, like I said, you have to learn over time that not everybody's expectations can be met by me, and if they can't, you know, I'm more than happy to try to find somebody that might be able to meet them.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, you know, while 99 point whatever % of people are awesome to deal with,
Mhm.
it just seems like some people are determined to be miserable, and you know,
Yeah.
sometimes you got to deal with them. So
Yeah.
that's not so fun. Other times, you know, hiring and, you know, firing. Unfortunately, sometimes if
Mhm.
you just have a staff member that's not fitting in quite the way you thought they would or whatever,
Mhm.
you know, it's not easy to look at somebody and say, you got to find something else, you know,
Yeah.
because it just isn't a good match for you here.
Mhm.
So there's that part of things, but
Mhm.
you know, fortunately, it doesn't happen too often.
Yeah.
So, yep.
All right.
Is that
Thank
it?
you. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Sure.